Alright everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be installing some aftermarket carbon fiber side air intake vents. I'm not sure what brand these are, but my buddy brought these in to me to install, and they're not super easy to install. So first thing to note is that you can see that these studs on the back, I installed those. I actually had to make these. I'm not sure again what brand it is and if they actually came with studs before, but what was actually installed in it is just like a threaded piece, so it looks like you had to use like your own bolt, and that's a lot harder to install because you're kind of trying to fish the bolt in from the back blindly. And so with studs like this, it's more OEM style, and OEM is like that, and they use these star bolts, flower bolts. So I decided to go this way. It was a lot easier, and again, if you do have one that looks like this, the bolt thread size is a M5 by 0.8. M5 by 0.8. I did not have those studs. I didn't want to go out, so I had these M5, a 20 millimeter length, M5 by 0.8, 20 millimeter length. I cut off the heads. I installed them into these with the red Loctite, as you can see. I dremeled a slot on the top for a flathead, and that way I could install the stud in there. And then what I'm going to do, I cannot use these stock flower bolts because it's the wrong size. So you just got to get M5 by 0.8 nuts as well. So again, this is not the recommended way because you have to Dremel off the head, Dremel in a space for your flathead screwdriver. If you do have something like this, what I recommend is buying studs. You can buy studs by themselves, not those. Buy studs by themselves already. Buy it before you do this installation, and install the studs into this piece, and you'll have a lot easier time and get your M8 nuts as well. So having that said, the tools required to remove the factory vent is to remove this flat flower bolt first is a 22 millimeter. So online there is a 3D printable tool that you can buy or have printed, or print for yourself if you have a printer. I do have a printer, but I did not make that because I have a 22 millimeter Crowsfoot right here attached to this ratcheting thumb wheel. So that's what I would typically use to get these off. You could use a 22 millimeter wrench, but those are typically very large and hard to get inside. I'll show you guys how tight the fit is in here. For the new nuts, these are 8 millimeter, so I have a few different 8 millimeter size wrenches with ratcheting features on them in order to get these on the aftermarket one. Again, if you're doing OEM vents, obviously you're just going to need a 22 millimeter to get these off and on. You're also going to need some Phillips. So this is a P2, and I have a stubby one as well. So that way you can, the method that I am going to show you guys is to remove the side skirts, and you're going to need to have a stubby one unless you take off both wheels. And so I just took off one wheel, the rear wheel, but for the front you can turn it, or you can use stubby in order to get to the Phillips bolts holding in the fender liner and the side skirts. You're also going to need a 10 millimeter ratchet and socket in order to loosen up some bolts on the quarter panel to give yourself some more room. That's optional, but it helps, and 10 millimeter, you should all probably have that already anyway. So not many tools needed, but it requires some special effort to know what you're doing especially when it comes to this and the tight fit that there is in the quarter panel. So I'll do my best to show you guys what we're working with. Let's get right into it. And the tools you'll need to remove your side skirt are pretty simple. You're going to need a couple of Phillips. You may need a stubby depending on whether you want to remove your wheels or not, or be able to turn if you have enough room, depending on how big your wheels are. You're going to want an interior pry tool, preferably a plastic one, and possibly a plastic clip removal tool for the fender liner. Okay, so to remove your side skirt, you're going to want to remove any of these bolts going into the side skirt itself. Side skirt just curves like a half U shape. And so you just start removing these on the bottom edge. So I'm going to go ahead and remove this one as well. This is not going to the side skirt, this is going to the fender. But I need the fender liner to be able to move out of the way because we're going to slide the side skirt forward. So I need this fender liner to have enough play in it, some give. All right, so just basically like that. Have about 2 to 3 inches of space in order to get for the side skirt to be pushed forward. You'll see what I mean in a second. Okay, and for the rear, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to remove the Phillips screws going into the side skirt and the fender liner partially. There's one down here. All right, and so this gives you full access to the side skirt. And then lastly, there are 2 fasteners on the underside of the side skirt. One in the back towards the rear quarter panel and one towards the front. Those are just plastic clips, so you just pop those out and then we're ready to remove the side skirt. Okay, so this is the part where some people don't know what to do. You do not just yank the side skirt outwards. That'll break clips. What you want to do is look at how the side skirt is mounted, slide it forward. I will show you why once it's off, but you're going to slide it forward and it'll just pop right off. With all the fasteners in the fender liner, front and rear, and the 2 plastic clips on the bottom, and this panel out, the side skirt's ready to come out. So all you do, hold your side skirt, push it forward. Might take a little persuasion. Slide it forward. And it comes off, just like that. So the reason the side skirt's able to slide off the clips is because the clips are shaped like this. That's how it's meant to function. Side skirt comes off, slides off. Remove these clips by turning them a quarter turn. Remove them. Install them back on the side skirt, and then you just push your side skirt back on when you want to reinstall them. Okay, so the driver's side is harder vent to install because if you have the stock intake, there's this piece right here, tube that feeds your intake. You need to remove that in order to access the flower bolts on the intake on the vent, which are located right about here and here or so. The reason why I take out the side skirt now is because I can access this lower bolt through the bottom, especially if I remove this, which is only held on by 2 Phillips screws. I will remove that. To remove this side intake scoop thingy, we need to remove more clips on the fender liner, basically halfway at least, and pull this back and start removing that scoop thing. All right, so this car already has an aftermarket intake downforce thingy installed already, so I don't recall how the OEM is set up, but it's probably just as simple. This one has a couple of 10mm bolts to remove for the bracket. You'll once you get the fender liner out, you should be able to see the OEM piece, which is plastic, and it should be really easy to remove. Should be another piece of hardware right here. Okay. All right, so here's a look. Again, this car has aftermarket vents in it already, but if you wanted to get to the star bolt or flower bolt, it's all the way back here. You can see that I have to basically get my wrist past this point, which is the widest point of the vent. So if you have big arms, it's hard to get to. So I go from the bottom to reach the bottom vent, and then for the top, you can reach across the top and downwards and reach that other flower bolt. But again, it's 22mm. You can cut a 22mm wrench. You can go ahead and 3D print the tool, which I would recommend. 3D print the tool for the 22mm. I'll put a link to all these tools in the video description for you guys. And basically that's the next step. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys. So right here, I'm going to remove this little interior vent thingy with 2 Phillips screws, and then it just pops right out. This is an interior vent for like when you close the door, it allows the pressure to come out of the car. So this, now you can reach in here, and right now I'm touching the star bolt. It's right about right here. Okay, and so I do also like to remove 2 10mm bolts holding in the bottom of the fender. It doesn't give you a whole lot of play with the fender, but it gives you enough, especially if you have bigger hands, to get a little bit extra room underneath or behind the fender to get to the bolts. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that right now. Okay, like I said, it doesn't give you that much, but it gives you a little bit of wiggle room. So the next part I'm not gonna be able to show you because I can't get a camera in there, but if you can, get a Crowsfoot. This is a 1/2 inch. This is a little fat, so I would recommend a tool like this, which is a very slim, it's non-ratcheting, to attach to this. I don't have a 1/2 inch size, but luckily these flower bolts are on hand tightened, so I can remove it without a tool. But if you need a tool, grab something like this, or again, 3D print your own. Yeah. Okay, for the top one, I'm gonna go ahead and go in. Again, I can't show you, but I'm gonna go in through the top and reach around like the top. I have to reach downwards and undo the flower nut. All right, so this is what it looks like with the vent out. So again, this is where you have to reach for the top nut, and the bottom one is down here. So you can easily reach that from, you can see my finger right here. The top one is a little bit harder. Again, you have to reach across. The vent is right here, so this is a little bit lower to reach over and down in order to get to this one. It's a little bit difficult. There's not too much room behind here, maybe 1.5 inches or so, or 2. But that's how you're gonna get to that. So not super easy, not super hard, tedious. Definitely helps to have the right tools. All right, again, we're installing carbon fiber ones. I installed the studs on here and the nuts. You wanna make sure that they go on nice and smooth, especially if you made your own stud like I did. These are 20mm studs and just enough sticking through. This is very thin sheet metal, so not a lot of room is needed to get these studs on. This is more than enough. You're gonna have to tighten this down probably to about that much, so you can see that there's plenty of stud sticking through left over. So again, I'm not gonna be able to show you this. Essentially, you're gonna put these through and go through the bottom for the nut on the bottom, and then go through the top like so. Then you wanna grab your ratcheting 8mm for these nuts specifically. Again, if you're doing an OEM one, you're gonna need a 22mm. Righty tighty, lefty loosey is always as you're looking at the bolt. So the nut is going in towards the outside of the car, so you're gonna rotate it towards the front of the car. All right, so that concludes the install of this intake vent. There's no torque spec. No one's gonna be able to fit a torque wrench behind there anyway. Tighten it up until it's snug. It's just, keeping in mind, it's just epoxy, some kind of glue holding in the stud and the threads into this carbon fiber. Don't go crazy. You can do it, you know, if you notice it coming loose over time, you know, you're gonna have to take apart your car, tighten it up a little bit. That's better than totally tightening it too tight, destroying the piece and having to return it, get a new one, or re-epoxy it or something like that. So this is on good. We're gonna call that good, and we're going to reverse the operation for everything, reinstall the intake scoop, fender liner, and side skirt, and then you're done. All right, so now to install the side skirt back on, what you need to do is install these clips back onto the side skirts. And you'll notice that If you look around the gap in the clip, there is a notch sticking out that lines up with, if you look in these mount areas, there's a little divot. That divot is what is going to center this clip based on this notch thing. So you're going to put the L shape, basically the 90-degree on the bottom, push it over until it clicks into place, and now you know it's centered. That's very important because when you go to install the side skirt and push it on, these all need to be in the correct position, otherwise you're going to start breaking clips. So again, push it in, it'll center itself. Once it hits that notch, and then you're good to install this side skirt back on the car. All right, so as you've seen by now, to install the side skirts, it is not the reversal of removal. To remove it, we slid it forward. Sliding it forward, what that does is it slides these tabs, these plastic pieces off of the side skirt, right? That's why it's open on one side, so it'll slide off the side skirt. If you try to yank off the side skirt this way, you have a chance of breaking a lot of these tabs and or breaking these mounting points on your side skirt, which are fragile. So you slide it off like I showed you. You give each plastic piece a quarter turn to remove it. You reinstall them onto the side skirt, keeping note of that notch in them. And then now it's as simple as pushing them in. All right, so you're going to want to line up each of these clips. So you're going to line up the clips like this. Okay. And just give it, once it's all lined up, give it a nice firm push. Remember, there's two clips up here and all the way down here. It'll snap right in. As easy as that. All right, you may want to give it a nice little clean like I did. And again, take note of how curved these pieces are. Install the curved pieces first while keeping note of these guys. And important note, if you just haphazardly install like this and smash it down, you'll have a good chance of misaligning one of these and bending them, breaking them flat. You want to do this part slowly. Install it, look in through this side, make sure that they look like they're lined up, press it down slowly. Just like that. And then now all you need to do as the final step is to reinstall the Phillips screws into the side skirt, holding in the fender liner, and then you're good to go. So that's it for this install. You can see here that the fitment isn't the greatest, but it is what it is. Some of them may be fitting better than this one. This one has little rubber along the sides to take up the gaps and help prevent more scratching. But otherwise the install was okay as long as you install studs. I recommend you purchase your own studs and install them beforehand and get the correct nuts for the stud. So that'll do it for this one. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments below. Otherwise, I will see you in the next video.